Hi everybody, welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney and today is Monday, July 19th. Thank you for being here for the top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I know we had a rainy day on Saturday, but beautiful weather on Sunday. Beautiful weather for our inaugural WKYC 2021 Summer Softball Classic Championship. Yes, the Lakeside Legends took on the Downtown Dynamos, and the Dynamos were victorious. So we had a little station-on-station game. It was a whole lot of fun. A lot of great people out there, a lot of people behind the camera who you don't get to see, a lot of people in front of the camera as well. I was joined with Betsy Kling, Mark Namick, Matt Wentz, Brandon Simmons, the very legend himself, Leon Bibb, Mike Polk Jr., Rachel Polanski. I know I'm probably forgetting some names, but it was a great turnout. We had a lot of fun. We had cheerleaders, we had an announcer, we had an umpire, and in the end, the Dynamos were victorious. If you want to see some moments from that, you can check that out on WKYC.com. You know who else had an exceptional weekend? Tribe pitcher Shane Bieber. He got engaged to his longtime girlfriend, Kara Kavajecz. This weekend, they got engaged on July 17th. On Saturday. Both of them posted on Instagram about it. The designer, who goes by Kara Maxine, posted and said, "I always knew," and the date of their engagement, which is July 17th, 2021. Now, the couple were actually in the Bay Area in San Francisco, while the Tribe was in the Bay Area facing the Oakland Athletics. That's where the proposal happened over the weekend, according to their social media posts. Shane Bieber also posted on his Instagram, "Forever My Girl," and the date of the engagement. And according to information that is available from the two of them online, they met in Santa Barbara, where the pitcher, Shane Bieber, spent his college career playing at UC Santa Barbara. Congratulations to the happy couple. Now, not such a great weekend for the Westside Market, though. We continue to hear about some of the issues plaguing the Westside Market, which is run by the city of Cleveland. There was a power outage on Saturday, and according to one person who was running for Cleveland mayor in the upcoming election, the power was out for 11 hours. Now, Saturday, of course, the busiest day of the week at the Westside Market, so a real problem for vendors there. One of those vendors, Kate's Fish, posted on social media, just absolutely fed up with what's been happening at the Westside Market. This is what that post said. "The time for a change in leadership of this facility is long overdue. We cannot wait. I am proud to be your fishmonger, but not under these atrocious conditions." They said that they've had it with the lack of leadership, broken things, floods in the basement, and here's a quote, "The complete ineptitude of the Public Works Department. I am sorry to those of you who were coming to support us today," the post went on to say on Saturday. "We were not able to be there for you." And Kate's Fish, a representative from there, told 3 News that they have a significant amount of frozen inventory in the building, and none of that is protected by a generator because there's no generator to protect the refrigeration or the freezers. Now, 3 News has reached out to the city of Cleveland for comment and is waiting to hear back on that. Several mayoral candidates hoping to replace current mayor, Cleveland Mayor Frank Jackson, who is not running again, have weighed in on this, and you can see what they had to say on WKYC.com. Now, if you're interested in traveling to Canada, here's some good news for you. Canada announced today that it will begin letting fully vaccinated U.S. citizens into Canada on August 9th. So coming up here in a couple of weeks, and then from the rest of the world on September 7th. Also, the 14-day quarantine requirement will be waived as of August 9th for eligible travelers who are currently residing in the U.S. and have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Public Safety Minister Bill Blair said there is no date right now for the U.S. to allow Canadian citizens into the U.S. on the land border, but that any Canadian right now can currently fly into the U.S. Now, speaking of vaccinations and how that will impact our world here in the coming weeks, with school vaccine mandates banned, so to speak, we'll get a little bit more into the details on that. There's an Ohio lawmaker who wants to ban mask requirements as well. Now, there was a bill recently signed into law by Governor Mike DeWine which bans public schools and colleges from requiring emergency use authorization vaccines. So as of right now, yes, that does include the COVID-19 vaccine, but once and if the COVID-19 vaccines get full FDA approval, then they will not be banned under this law. Regardless, that law doesn't take effect for a little less than 90 days because it was just recently signed and it goes into effect 90 days after the signature. But this new bill, Senate Bill 209, that was introduced by State Senator Andrew Brenner. He's a Republican representing Powell. And this reflects an attempt by the Ohio General Assembly to block the mitigation efforts that we've seen in place for this virus, which has killed more than 20,000 Ohioans to date. So SB 209, what it would do is it would prohibit state school boards, the Ohio Department of Education, or individual school districts' boards of education from requiring anyone to wear a facial covering in a public education setting. Now, these mandates could still come from outside the education system. That's a clear distinction that needs to be made here. For example, the health department still has the authority to, quote, take action to prevent the spread of a communicable or contagious disease, and that would include requiring a facial covering in those settings. Now, regardless of what happens with this bill, it's really unlikely to affect school districts' decisions for fall because lawmakers here in Ohio are on break until after most schools return to class. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Now, as this push is coming from at least one Republican lawmaker here in Ohio, there's a top pediatric group that is saying all students should wear masks in school in the fall. So that's not just unvaccinated students, that's all students. This is the American Academy of Pediatrics. This is new guidance released just today by this organization, and one of its top recommendations is requiring COVID-19 vaccines and vaccine proof, potentially requiring those things, and masks for anyone over the age of 2, including the fully vaccinated. Now, this recommendation goes beyond the recommendations currently in place from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control. Its updated recommendations earlier this month said that vaccinated students and staff don't need to wear masks in school. The CDC also isn't advising schools to require shots for teachers and students who are eligible to be vaccinated. But the American Academy of Pediatrics has come to a different conclusion. Now, as of right now, only the Pfizer vaccine is available for emergency use authorization for people aged 12 and up. So one of the main reasons that the AAP is recommending masks for everyone in schools is because there are so many students under the age of 12 who will be in schools and they're not eligible to be vaccinated. And also, it's difficult to police and track who is and isn't vaccinated, and potential vaccine hesitancy are all reasons cited by the AAP that not just the unvaccinated, but all students should wear face coverings in schools. Switching gears here, but still in the health and wellness space, the topic on my 3 Things to Know with Stephanie Haney podcast this week is something you may have heard about. It's a trendy name for something that is a phenomenon that's been around for a while, but it's called revenge sleep procrastination. You may have seen people talking about it on social media or heard about it on TV or read about it online. This is something that's also called doom scrolling. So in order to talk about what this is, I talked with a Cleveland Clinic psychologist. She's from the Cleveland Clinic's Sleep Disorder Center. Her name is Dr. Michelle Drerup. And we talked about what revenge sleep procrastination is. And in a nutshell, it is when you stay up late because you don't have enough free time during the day. So you're sort of taking back your leisure time. But in doing that, you're kind of setting yourself up for a sort of a vicious cycle because you're stealing from your sleep and putting yourself a little bit back for the start of your next day. So we talk about why we do this, why does it feel so good in the moment, even though it's not necessarily great for us a little bit later, and what the dangers are if you let your revenge sleep procrastination go unchecked, and how you can get into better sleep habits. Basically, what it is and why you shouldn't be doing it. So you can find that at WKYC.com/3thingsto know. You can find it on every podcast platform. It's also on YouTube. So go ahead and check that out, especially if you're somebody who stays up scrolling late at night, which I am definitely guilty of. Now, in the sports world, the Cleveland Browns are teaming up with the American Red Cross for the First and 10 blood drive. That'll be on July 31st. That's at 12 different locations here in Northeast Ohio. This is an annual drive, and one of the locations will be First Energy Stadium right here in downtown Cleveland from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. that day. Now, we've got a list of all of the donation sites on WKYC.com. Here's what's pretty cool. While supplies last, the people that come to be a part of the First and 10 blood donation drive will get a free commemorative Browns t-shirt and also a chance to win other Browns memorabilia. But you do not have to be in town. You can also enter nationwide if you're participating for a chance to win, and there are details linked on how you can record a blood donation to submit for the contest, and that's at WKYC.com. Now, in more Tribe news, our Dave Chudowski sits down often with the players for our Cleveland baseball team for the Beyond the Dugout series, and he's talking with Zach Plesac this week. He learned a lot of interesting things about Zach Plesac. Now, if you remember, he injured his right thumb after taking off his undershirt during a not-so-great game, or after a not-so-great game against the Twins, but he is back now. He made his 12th start of the season on Sunday in Oakland, and when he put him on the hot seat, when Dave Chudowski put Plesac on the hot seat, we learned that they like their eggs the same way. They both like dipping their toast in eggs. Plesac said he used to be a scrambled eggs eater, but now he's more of an over-medium kind of guy, and he likes dipping his toast in the eggs just like our Dave Chudowski. Chudowski also asked him what his favorite thing about Cleveland is, and he says he thinks the people here in Cleveland just have a lot of loving characteristics. That's definitely true, especially when it comes to our favorite sports players. A lot of love for those guys here in the Cleveland area. Zach Plesac is also a twin, in case you didn't know that. So Dave talks with him about what it's like being a twin, and you can find that on WKYC.com. And here is something exciting that is coming up here in the land. Impractical Jokers are bringing their tour here to Cleveland's Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. That's happening on December 29th. They announced it today. Now, their comedy troupe is called the Tenderloins, and they are behind True TV's Impractical Jokers and TBS's The Misery Index. And they're going to be here. Their tour is called the Scoopski Potatoes Tour, and it's coming to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse on December 29th. So this will have never-before-seen videos and storytelling from James Murray, Brian Q. Quinn, Joe Gatto, and Sal Volcano. Their show, Impractical Jokers, by the way, has had more than 200 episodes and been on the air since 2011. They're very excited to do this. They're very excited to get back on the road and do what they love, which is making people laugh. This is what the guys said. The tour is especially meaningful to us, and we're absolutely thrilled to be back in person where we can connect with and laugh alongside our fans for the first time in over a year and a half. We can't wait to kick off the festivities. I know everyone is probably feeling quite similar about that. Very excited to get these things back up and running again. So this is a 40-city tour, again, stopping in Cleveland on December 29th. So the pre-sale starts on Wednesday, July 21st, and then tickets for the general public become available on this Friday, July 23rd. We've got the link to buy them on WKYC.com. That is it for your 3 News Now update today for Monday, July 19th. I'll see you next up on What's New with your trending stories in the Clicking in Cleveland segment, and I will see you back here tomorrow for more 3 News Now.